All right, hello everybody. Andrea here. We are making pear preserves today. Now, so far I have put, sorry about that. So far I have put the fruit fresh on there. I have mixed the Pomona Universal Pectin because I'm making it sugar free, pretty much sugar free. Then I used the honey from my friend who from Magnolia, pure honey, and that is this right here because I need a little bit, not a lot. And I have apple juice that's going to be taking place of the water. The Pomona Pectin, now this is a mixture of calcium, so this is calcium water. It is made for sugar-free things. So I'm going to be mixing this is the pectin. I'm going to mix that in. Now that tells me that I need, and I'm following very strict directions, okay? So that tells me that for what I'm making, this says pithy things, and then once we get started, it tells us to measure the sugar, and we're going to put the pectin into the honey to start mixing it. Bring fruit or juice to a boil, pectin sweetener. So we're going to add pectin sweetener mix, which is going to be the honey mixed with the pectin, and stir vigorously. The mixture returns to a full boil. Remove from heat. Fill the jars, and there you go. Screw on 2-piece lids. Put filled jars in boiling water to cover and boil for 10 minutes. So what I'm using is what we call a FruitSaver, and the FruitSaver has my jars already heating up inside of there. So then when it's time, I will turn it up. That's going to go to the green. And once it gets to the green for my level, blue, I'm sorry, it's got to get to the blue, up to the blue. That red has to get all the way over here, and start timing when the needle reaches your zone's green, which means my zone's green is over here. It's green, it just looks black. All right, so I'm going to mix 3 tablespoons of pectin powder. This is almost room temperature. I don't need that much. I don't want that much honey, so I'm going to put it. Now honey is going to crystallize, so I'm not going to use a lot since I'm using apple juice. So there we go. That should be half. Yeah, half. All right. I want less. I don't want too. I can control how sweet my stuff is, and this is a beautiful thing because I don't want my stuff to be too sweet. So 3 tablespoons of pectin. All right. And then when I'm ready, I'm going to use the calcium water, which will be 4.5 tablespoons. So we have 4 tablespoons. So let me fold this so I can see it better. I don't want to use the wrong one. I'm using this one here. It says a 1/2 cup to a cup of honey and 3 tablespoons, 4 cups of mashed and simmered fruit or simmered fruit. So I think this is 4 cups. Let's get this. I think I have more more than 4 cups. Let's see here. I didn't have a lot of pears. I only bought 8 pounds. And you know, when you finish doing everything, this is 8 cups. That's okay. They're gonna cook down and everything. It's gonna be fine. It's 8 cups, so I get to double everything. I'll do more honey in a different jar. These are not going to turn brown, so now I need to make more honey, and I'm going to use 4 tablespoons of calcium, and that should be enough because I put 3 tablespoons. We'll do that. That's fine. It doesn't have to be super thick. I'm fine with that. So we need more honey. Let's do more honey. We're going to make sure we have enough. We're going to do more honey because we need to mix this. I still don't need to do as much. I'll do 3/4 cups because I don't want to have too much. This is what I want. I don't want a lot of sugar. All right, let's get a little bit more. That's about 1/2 cup, so we'll do 3/4 cup. There we go. Right there is 1 cup at 3/4 cup. I think this is plenty sugar, plenty honey. I don't want too much. Then I'll end up. And I have apple juice. I told you it is 100% not from concentrate apple juice, unsweetened, pure apple juice from Kirkland. So let's go ahead and do the pectin, because this has to be ready before I turn the fire on to start cooking everything else. So this means that I'm going to do 3 tablespoons or 6 tablespoons of pectin. 1, 2, since it says 4 cups of mashed pears, this will be fine. Oh, that's good right there. And then where's that pectin? It says for the pectin, I need it. Since I'm doing extra, I need to make the calcium water 1/2 teaspoon. So I'll put another teaspoon and another 1/2 cup. A 1/2 cup. Okay. So I'll make a cup of pectin. So another 1/2 teaspoon. It's a 1/2 of the calcium. I'm just making calcium water. I should have made all of it. I don't want to take any chance putting too much in there. Oh, that's it. That's the whole package. Okay, that's good. All right, so I'll use all of it. And then let me mix this up. This will melt a little bit. That way it won't clump, from what I understand, inside of the hot pears. So that's that. All right, so we are ready. I'm not going to mash these up now. I'm going to put the apple juice. Since I have so many, I'm going to do a whole cup of apple juice. This right here. Get this started. I want to have that on high. I want to make this. There we go. Now we're going to add the calcium water, 4 tablespoons. 3, 4, 5. Well, we're supposed to do 8, 6, 5, 7. Oh man, I don't know how many I put in there, but that is, so I'll just put a 1/2 for a good measure. That's the calcium water. I'll save this other calcium water because I have 1/2 cup left. Awesome. So that worked out. Okay, so I put, yeah, all right. So I can stir occasionally. These are going to be good. I want them to look like pears in the jar. I don't have to have spears. I can have diced. That'll be nice. Okay, that should ball. I don't want to make jam. I kind of want to make preserves. And in a minute, I'll put, once I get that to a full boil, measure sugar, thoroughly mix proper of pectin powder into honey, bring fruit to a full boil, add pectin sweetener. Stir vigorously to dissolve the pectin sweetener. I'll go ahead and get those ready before I put this sweetener in. Okay, so the sweetener will be sitting over here. I need it to be warm because it's not all the way to room temperature. Okay, real quick before we keep going, I want you to know what the difference that I'm using here. This is called the FruitSaver, and the FruitSaver steamer canner, instead of using water bath canner, I am using the FruitSaver. So I already have my jars already sterilized in there. They sterilize those jars real quick. So now what I'm going to do is get rid of those. Take these jars out and empty this water. Now there's water at the bottom. Okay, so I'm just going to empty the water into my jar here so I don't have to walk too far. Okay, and I'm going to put this over here. I have everything in a particular place. I'm going to do a little bit at a time because now it's time to put the pectin in to the pears. And as soon as I put those in, it's going to be time to get moving with this. So let's get these jars ready so they'll be hot. And I'm going to go ahead and start boiling my lids. That's not going to be too much. Put that on high. Well, actually, this water I'm taking out of here, I can boil my lids in. The lids will go in here, so I don't need any water boiled over there. So I'm working fast. All right, so I already emptied these jars. This is my steamer canner, and we are going to go ahead and put our pectin in here. We've already done the calcium water. It's already starting to set up. Don't like doing that, but hey, gotta melt it. This is my first time making preserves, and I don't know what made me want pear, but I always try not to use a lot of sugar. I do not need a lot of sugar. Now that means that this is going to have a different flavor, but you have to get used to sugar free. Honey is a sugar, but I think it's safer for you than white sugar, because if I wasn't doing this, this thing would require that I do, oh my goodness, it says you need 5 cups of sugar. Oh my goodness, I can't imagine using 5 cups of sugar. That's insane. So what I'm doing is I'm going here, here to here, back to here. I really don't want to be going back and forth like that, but this is what we're going to do. So let me get my holder to pull those out. There we go. All right. So this is 2 minutes. You don't want it to burn on the bottom. Oh my goodness, it's starting to stick. So that's it. It came back to a boil. Now I'm going to turn it off. I hope that's enough jars. All right, I have a lot of jars over here. Okay, let's see what we have here. So we're going to move these jars over here, and I'm going to start. Going to turn this off. I already turned it off. So let's start loading these jars up. All right. I wonder if this is going to do like it says if I have a cold plate. I hope it works. I hope it sets up. Ooh, I don't know. Put this here. I don't want anything to waste. I waste a lot of stuff. There we go. Okay. My stuff is going to set up. Okay, so we don't need this one. All right, now we need to clean this up. Paper towel with some water. Ooh, that's hot. All right, I'm going to finish putting the lids on these and I'll come right back. I wanted to show you guys this here. I'm using this to help me tighten these because these jars are so hot. I don't want to burn myself. So I am tightening these jars with this little thing here. Isn't that cool? All right. All right. Let's get these. Oh, I have an extra one there. There. Put that over there. Now, I probably would be able to use this big part if I was using a smaller jar, a bigger jar. But this is good enough because this thing is hot. It'll keep my hands from burning. All right, the last one. All right. I'm putting these over here into this container. I'm going to turn it up a little bit more. Make sure I have enough water in there. It's supposed to be right to the top here. That's what it says. Come out of there. There we go. So now it's going to start steaming. Let's see if I can get one more jar in here. Ooh, I hope they fit. Yeah. Okay. Don't want it to bend over. All right, so now I put the FruitSaver on, and this here is supposed to get up to my green for this blue all the way around because of my, whatever you call it. Anyway, that's that. So let's go ahead and put this on. See if it'll fit. Yay! Okay, it's sealed. It's down. So now I'll let it start getting up to pressure, and then I'll be back. Okay, I want to show you my way of making sure that the FruitSaver has no leaks around here. It works before, but I just want safety for my own self. Okay, so this got where it needed to be. It is in the green zone, which is perfect, right? All right, so since that's in the green zone, I'm happy with that. Okay, but it's now timing the way it's supposed to, but I like to have that extra weight on the top. It's made out of aluminum, and you know how that works. So I put these on here, and I think what I'm going to do is make a bean bag that's a circle that's heavy, or just keep using jar cans and stuff like that to make sure that I have the weight in order to make sure this is going to seal exactly the way I want. It's fine. I just am doing this as a precaution because it's me. There's no other reason. I have it on 3 for my stove, which is fine. Now, I don't know if this will help any of you guys or anybody, but this is how I do it because I've done it before. It worked perfectly with my pear, let's see. Works perfectly with my peaches. It did well with my pineapples when I first got it, but I don't want it to change or do anything different. I want it to always stay within zone. And the only way I know how to do that is make sure there is nothing keeping it from being in zone. So that's my way of doing it. Nobody else I've ever seen does it. It's, to me, no different from doing, I don't know. I don't want to talk about that part. I'm just showing you how I do it. This is not the way to, they don't say do that, but hey, this is how I do it. So y'all can go find other people. I just want to have this pressure so it won't move and the steam doesn't come out. There's a little steam coming out in the back, but there's an opening in the back that's meant for the steam to come out. Yeah, I'm going to show you that little opening in the back. Okay, guys, this is the last of the, I may not have my mic on right now. It really doesn't matter. I just want you guys to see how I take these off out of the, I'm just going to take them off here and put them over on my block to help them cool better. They've sat there. All of them have pinged. I ended up with 11 jars, which I am so totally excited about. So 11 jars of pear jelly / preserves. And they are low in sugar. That was the most important part for me, is for them to be low in sugar. And that meant I had the honey, and there you go. Okay, so I'm excited about that. You guys, thank you for joining me on my, they need to finish doing their cooling, so I'll let them sit here for the next 12 hours. I don't know what this is. This must be the jelly part, and this here is the pear part. I can't turn them upside down or anything, so I'll leave them alone. But I'm happy. Okay, see you guys on the other side. Y'all have a wonderful day, evening, and afternoon. Bye.